beast. Oh my God. What a mess. I guess I gotta clean that bench again. Look at all the dirt that's in here. Let's see if I can do this one-handed without dropping my camera. Drum looks okay, not damaged. Yeehaw! And through the power of video, once again, it is clean for now. So this beauty here, she's an old school. She's a Stihl 041 AV. So this is a beast. I have a 261C. I think this model is one up on the 261C, but the 261 is a fairly new machine. This is pretty awesome. I got this free from my neighbor, or not my neighbor, but the buddy I work with. He says, you get it running, you can have it. So, okay. I could always use a backup saw. So, yeah, put you in the stand and, yeah, interesting spider webs. So we'll start with the basics. It says it won't run. So what do? You verify customer complaint. So let's just see if it won't run. So, on that choke. Oh, we got a choke switch. Okay. Full blast. Full blast. Choke is on. Check and see if there's any gas in it. Whoa. It's got gas in it. A little stinky, but it'll do for testing purposes. I do want to check the air cleaner though first. Just in case there's, just make sure there's an air filter and it's not going to suck in any crap. That's a little dirty, but not the worst one I've ever seen. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, just blast that off. Oh, what did I do with my... That's pretty well embedded in there. Yeah, that ain't coming off of there. It's okay. So just for testing purposes, I'm going to keep the air cleaner off of it. I want to have a look down inside here. Choke on. There's no primer bubble on it. Okay. Wanted to. That's not much of a weather run video. Oh, really? I was hoping to have some cool, exciting, you know, take the carb apart, clean it out, and that's a pretty crappy will it run video. Oh, jeez. Well, I guess take it outside and test her out, run her through the paces, wind her up a bit. Oh, stupid. Stupid video. What a dumb video. I mean, sweet, I got a wicked saw out of it. Tilt you down a bit. wicked soft. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Nothing. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with this saw. Oh, there's a video. Stupid. Well, so much for that being an easy job. Yeah, it died. I was out putting her through the paces, cutting some wood, and then it went blah, 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 and died like it was running out of fuel. So, it's been sitting for a bit. Let's see if we can't get any signs of life out of it at all, which I don't think we will. Oh, crap. But, I guess we'll start from the basics. Check for spark, check for fuel, put a compression tester on it, see what we got for compression. Alright, so this has turned into an interesting video. Sick. Alright, so let's go back to the basics. What do we need for an engine to run? Fuel, air, spark. That's your engine triangle. So, I'm going to pull the spark plug, and we'll just check to see if we got spark. And not that one. There. Here's the right one. Whoa. Well, I'd say we got gas. Doesn't smell too good. But now I've seen a spark plug spark outside the cylinder, and then as soon as you put compression on it, it won't. So I'll zoom you right in here. See if I can't catch myself on fire. Right there, we're looking right there at the spark plug. I see spark. I see good spark. Oh, and a big fireball. Hey, I'm going to stop doing that before I actually do light myself on fire. Okay, so just do a crude compression test. Oh, do a crude compression test and turn the spark off. Put my finger over the hole and just pull on it. It feels pretty good. So, what is causing that? Maybe this is as easy as I thought. I'm going to see if I can dig up another spark plug. Alright, I dug out, it's a used plug, but it's still a good plug. Something I just noticed. You see that gap? Look at the gap on this one. It's quite a bit more. So yes, it's a used plug. That's okay. Excuse me. For the most part, all these chainsaws take the same thing, BPMR7A. So I'm actually just going to plug this in here. Try it out. She fires, we know it had a bad spark plug. I still think I'm going to pull the carb. I'd still like to pull the carb and just have a look. You can't really go too deep on these carbs because there's not much to them and the gaskets. Need the proper tool here. I can't get this thing on there. Okay. Okay, so hedge your bets. Think it's gonna run? I actually think it will. Let's put you back here just in case it takes off. I think it'll run. crap. Okay, spark is not the problem. So pull that back out of there. I wonder if I just did a dummy. Did I just do a dummy? Should check to see if that plug even has spark. What? Oh my god. Well, that's way too much gas. Okay, pulling the carb off. Not even going to try this for spark. That thing is like saturated. Surprised you can't see it dripping. See if you can look right down inside there. Come on, you super camera. Yeah, it's just completely plugged. Okay, pulling the carb off. Going there next. Yeah, check this out. Check out all that. That's all fuel right there. That's way too much. Look at it all. Way too much gas. Okay, carburetor time. So I think the needle and seat is stuck in this carb. That's got to be like itty bitty eights. Oh, first try. This is an easy carburetor to get to. My new 261C, you got to take the whole back half of this thing off to get the carb out, which I've had to do already because it quit pulling fuel and died on me. When I took it apart, there was a itty bitty teeny tiny little piece of sawdust caught between the float, or caught between the needle and the seat. Okay, how? You're coming off. You coming off? Hey, you're coming off. And taking the least amount of stuff. Hey, there we go. Pretty simple, right? Even this carb is even looser now. But it should have. I'm gonna blow some crap out of here first before we take it off. There. Put the camera back so it doesn't get covered in goo. Because, you know, I'm not one of those rich YouTubers with, you know, a couple 100,000 subscribers. And, yeah, YouTube doesn't pay me anything to do these videos. Not yet, anyway. But, I mean, who the heck wants to watch ads in videos? I don't. Alright. Even the carb kit, I think, for these would almost be a waste of money. You'd be better off just to buy a carb. Like, I mean, look, that's probably 50 bucks. So it looks like it is pulling fuel. So this is the little fuel pump right here. So this is the fuel pump, right? And you can see that the line comes out the back. There's a diaphragm in here, and this line goes in to the bottom end of the crank. So when the piston goes up and down, it pulsates this little diaphragm, and that pumps your fuel. So here's your fuel in from the gas tank. Right there is the gas tank into the carb. So, being somewhat of a mechanic, or I guess I am a mechanic, you get kind of neurotic about how things go together. Because you see mechanics, they take 1,000 things apart, 1,000 nuts and bolts, and they know where everything goes because that's sort of part of the job. You have to be a certain type of, you know, OCD. Well, maybe I'm not taking that off. All right. I wonder if Really don't want to. Yeah. So close. I don't want to break it. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, this carb is just dumping. Look at this. Completely saturated on the bottom. Yeah, something ain't working right. I wonder if the diaphragm on the end here has a split and it's just dumping the fuel right into the carb. Okay, so that one is the diaphragm and this is the fuel. Oh yeah, this thing's just dripping. Oh! Oh, hey! Yow. Geyser. Holy smokes. And yeah, that went all down inside. That's great. I wonder if there's a set of reeds down there. Yeah, there is a set of reeds. Oh, gross. Okay. Plug it off. Now this plate doesn't come off, right? Oh, it does come off. Excuse me. While my guitar gently weeps. Ooh. I'd love to pull those reeds out. The reeds might be stuck too. That might be doing it too. There we go. Oh, that gasket's a goner. Crud. Looks like I'm getting the carb kit for it. Okay. Oh, there's so much crap in here. I'm gonna have to do a good, quick blow job on it. Again. Stick that in the hole. Get my blow gun. Put the camera out of the way. Huh. That was quick there. The geyser on that. I wonder why that was so pressured up. Gross. All over me. Gross. Okay, camera back in. Okay. So down inside here is a set of reed valves, which I think I do want to pull them out and just inspect them, because if the reed valves are missing pieces, it's just going to dump raw fuel in there. And actually, you know what? I might have a carb for this machine. I might have a carburetor for this thing, because I was messing around with an 041 years ago. And I'm a junk collector just like everybody else I know. And I keep old saws and their stuff. So what was this? That is a base gasket. This was an 041, I think. I was going to rebuild, get it running. Crank seals. Yeah, for an 041. Here's another one. That's an 032, a little bit smaller. Same basic idea though. Mr. Junk Collector. Oh, hey, hey, oh, ah. That is pretty much identical to what came off of there. Here it is right here. That is the carb I need, I think. Choke. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Go take that over there. Ow! Oh, my legs. Oh, too old to be doing that. Let's see how close that is. There's that one. Oh, that looks quite a bit newer. And we got that. Well, those are pretty much identical. What are the chances I got one of these laying around? See, it pays to be a junk collector. Well, look at that. Looky, looky, looky. She is identical. Okay. Well, we'll take this one apart. I'm going to have a look. And I think I'm just going to clean this one up and throw it on. Give her a shot. I don't think I'm going to try cleaning it or nothing. But I do want to pull those reeds out of there. We'll pull them reed valves out. Oh, let's see here. Can you see down there? Yeah, you can. So let's see if we can angle this just right. God, I need another arm. I'll pull it over and you can see those reed valves opening and closing. You see that down there? Yeah, it's the reed valve opening and closing. So I think this engine's got good compression. Actually, seeing as we're here, pick up a compression gauge and have a check. Alright, I got my compression tester. This is my good one. Screw in and we'll have a check. So I think this engine needs at least 120. 150 is a really healthy engine, but 120, I'd be happy with 120. Anything less, then it's not really going to run right. It might not fire up. But the way it was running there in the first bit of the video, I don't think the compression will be fine, but might as well check her all out. And we set this up so you can see. Alright, can you see that? Alright. Oh. 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 Oh yeah, we're getting up there. Oh. Alright, I need to be able to see it. Got a sticker, something like that. Okay, that's just shy of 140. Can you see it? Just shy of 140. I'm happy with that. That's a healthy engine. Okay. I always go the wrong way with the zoom. Okay, I'm going to pull that reed out of there. It looks like Allen. First try. Every try. Oh, excuse me. Well, it's not uber tight. That's a good sign. You know somebody's messed around in here when everything is super tight and can't get the nuts and bolts off. Well, that gasket survived, but that is interesting. There is no reed in this. Call me dumb. Okay. That was the piston we were washing going up and down. Which looks pretty good. Where the heck's the ring? Oh, wait, the piston's going the other way. Gross. let us see how much comes blasting out of there. Gross. Okay, so call me an idiot. I guess this thing does not have reeds. So that can actually go back on there. As quick as I took it off. Alright, let's bust into this carburetor. My suspicion is that the gasket or the diaphragm under here is broken and dumping fuel right into the carb, because there's way too much coming out of there. Holy moly. So there's the diaphragm, the pumps. And that pumping moves these little flaps. But this all looks pretty good. This doesn't look, I mean, this stuff looks all brand new. This gaskets, that came apart way too easy. They should have fought me a little bit. And this side is the interesting side. This side has got the needle and seat. It also has a diaphragm in it. And this is what allows fuel into the engine. So if I had to bet, I would say the little spring in the diaphragm, either the spring popped out of its little keeper, or I don't know. I haven't been very right lately. I'm just going to shut my mouth and we'll have a look when we get into it. Yeah, this one's going to be a little tougher to get into. Oh boy. I feel like a surgeon. So there is the needle and seat in the bottom. So this pushes down on that and it lifts up on that needle. So what is the problem? Maybe the seat's the problem. This is where it's really horrible to lose these little springs, because they go ding across the shop and they are gone. No smoking gun yet. I wonder if I can take this off without... No. Okay, and then we'll take the high and the low off, which is these guys here. So this is the high, this is the low on this side. I want to turn them in to see how many turns they are out. So we got half. So we'll say half and a bit. Half and a bit for the high, and got half 1, 1.5, 2. That was out 2. 1.5 for the high, 2 for the low. Well, there's some goo came out of that. Oh, don't need to take that off. Don't need to take that off. Okay, it's got a date with a can of Carb Clean, and not gonna film that. All right, I am going to polish the seat. So the seat is down inside this hole. I'm going to use a Q-tip, WD-40, and a drill. Even though this is a rubber tip, it's a rubber tipped seat or needle. Sometimes they don't seat proper. So I'm just going to go full Nelson on it. Ah, it's squeaking. Polish her up a little bit. Because sometimes, yeah, you can see all the goo on that. Sometimes that seat just needs a little bit of a polish, and it is good. You got to be careful blowing through the seat, though. Some older machines that have a metal tip, they'll actually have a seat actually down in there. So if you blow this way, you'll blow the seat right out of it, and it's gone. You'll never find it. Ask me how I know that. All right, so this goes on like this. That goes on there. That goes in there. Oh, I can't even see what I'm doing. Oh, rookie move. YouTuber my butt. Okay. Spring first. Just checking that seat. Yeah, the seat, the needle doesn't look so fantastic. There's a bit of crud on there. That could have been it right there, right? Yeah, I don't like that needle. I might have to get a new one. Can't see what I'm doing again. Alright. So far so good. Big goofy fingers haven't dropped anything yet. I want to test that. Well, sounds like it's working good now. Ugh, disgusting. Okay. Something else you gotta watch too is sometimes these diaphragms get really flimsy or really rock hard. It should be very pliable. It shouldn't be crunchy. So then that guy goes on to here like a so. Right on, right on, right on, right arm. That is good. And then that can go back on there. I've also seen these carbs not work because this teeny tiny little hole is plugged. Because when that diaphragm comes up, the air's got to go somewhere. So you got to keep that in mind too. That hole's there for a reason. Okay. Yeah, like this gasket looks brand new. Because when you run ethanol fuel, this stuff just crusts right up. So that guy goes on. Yeah, like that. Is that even the right gasket? Yeah, that's the right gasket. No, I'm not forgetting. I'm just thinking. Looking at this stuff. No, I did not have a stroke. Sometimes when you work on stuff, you gotta stop for a moment and think about what it is that you're doing. Alright. Alright. Yeah, and the low looks pretty good. So, there we go. There we go. Right here. Right here. This guy was all the way in and 2 out. I'm going to go 1 3/4. Can't even see what I'm doing. Again. So there's 1, 1 1/2, 1 3/4. This guy was 1 and a little bit. God, I always forget I'm on camera. Okay. So there's 1 and a little bit. The high was really good when I had it running. The high wasn't a problem. Okay. Test out that diaphragm. Disgusting. Could probably run everything manually. Okay, I'm going to throw it back on the machine and we'll give her a shot. Alright, she's all back together. Carbs on there, plates on there. Let's give her a shot. We'll go full choke. Go pull back on that. Turn it on. Okay, here we go. Come on, baby. Huh. What is your problem? There's something else happening here. I'm gonna just put a little bit of the good stuff right down the throat. Or maybe I'm not. Okay. What is going on here? Oh, I wonder if turn that up a little bit. Let's open that guy up a bit. Oh, you dirty bastard. I wonder what is happening here. Huh. I wonder what the hell. Oh yeah, still way over fueling. Oh. Wonder if this plug will do any better. Huh. I'm stumped. I have to come back to this in a bit. Alright, I've done some thinking. And what I've done is I took the carburetor that was in there out of there. I think there's something wrong with this thing. And I put the old used one in here. And give her a shot here. We'll go no choke because it's probably got lots of gas. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Maybe we won't. Uh-oh, I think this carb is backwards. Alright, nothing's backwards, I just had stuff binding up. Now we're good. So no choke. Spark is on. Is off, is on. Okay, let's give her a shot. Hey, it fired! Hey! Fired again! Holy crap. Okay, let's do some choke. Okay, let's... But I just discovered something. The off button doesn't work. I had to choke it out. That's crappy. What did it turn it off? maybe the button was the switch was the problem the whole time. Okay, I'm gonna replace that. I actually got switches for that. I'm gonna replace that. Yeah, pays to be a junk collector. I got a spare one. It's pretty gross, but yeah. Okay, pull that out of there. Okay, you see what I'm doing? It's my mad camera skills again. So I should be able to yank on this. Now, didn't think that one through now, did I? Yeah, shucks. I'm going to have to take all this off again. How would I even go about getting that out? Oh, I gotta take the... Okay, so... Gotta think for a minute. Alright, to pull this whole side off of here. Gas tank. All comes as one. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so... I wonder if I can just let that hang. There. And we can get to a shut-off switch, which is right there. I wonder if that's why this machine was running all funky. Because this switch was shorting out. Yeah, it's just one wire, eh? I wonder. Check it out on my DVOM here. Continuity. Put them together, it'll make a noise. So let's see here. So we should be here on the body and there. So nothing. Nothing. Off. Should. Huh. Switch is working. Switch is working just fine. Weird. I wonder if there's too much scudge in the hole here.
Mommy said close the gate.
Oh, why? What are we closing the gate for?
Maybe probably Mommy doesn't want my friends to come early.
Or maybe.
Because they can't come early. Because today's not my birthday. Tomorrow. I'm going back in time.
Okay, well this switch seems to work a little better. See the fitment. Oh yeah, it's nice and tight in there. I wonder if that coil is shorting out somewhere else. Okay, I'm going to put this all back together and we'll try it again. Alright, I got that new switch on there. I want to see if that switch is working. So up should be spark. Spark. Down should be no spark. Down is no spark. Up is spark. Down is no spark. I wonder if that's what the problem with this machine was that switch was going all goofy. It's not a good feeling when you go to turn something off and it doesn't turn off. Okay, take like 5 or 6. Oh, first pull! Oh, what a beast! Now, will it turn off? Yay! I'm gonna say that switch was it. Stupid frickin' chainsaw. Okay, let's take her for a test drive. Oh, no choke, lots of gas. Wish I had some wood to cut. Now I got a spare saw. Thanks, man. Thanks for the free saw. Let's see how easy it restarts again. Yep, I think that switch was the problem all along. I don't think it was ever a carb issue. Even though that other carb was throwing the fuel into it. I think it could have handled it. Alright, that's a pretty long Will It Run video. Hopefully you guys like this kind. If you like this kind, I'll make some more. Later.